Who left that fucking lawnmower there? Literally vengeance. What are you, dude? You're nothing, dude. And I'm vengeance. And screw you.
Listen. My cat is by my feet. Listen, the Batman movie was not a bad movie. I'm going to have to keep cutting to that throughout the entire thing as I start roasting the movie. Listen, I know what the title says, but the Batman isn't actually that bad of a movie. It's like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. So it's like, that's what I would consider mid. If it's less than a 5 for a movie, a 5 out of 10, it's just not worth watching unless it's so bad that it's good. Like funny bad. But with the Batman, it's like mid. You know what I mean? It's outstandingly mid. Yeah, that's what the title says, I think. If you're in theater mode right here, or full screen, and then right here if you're in regular mode. Okay, let's start off with what I loved about this movie. The production quality was amazing. 10 out of 10. Honestly, it was so much better than I imagined it would be. Like, it's perfect. The way they use light, like, I loved the scene with the glowing eyes in the very beginning. The gunfire with Batman beating up some guys while they're shooting at him, and the only light comes from the gun muzzle flashes. That was so cool, dude. And then the scene with the flames after Batman just killed 35 people on the highway, and the Penguin's upside down, and the Batman goes, Huh! I love that. Those scenes were so beautiful to watch. On top of the video and the cinematography, the audio engineering was amazing. I didn't feel like my ears were busting their chops just to hear something, and I didn't feel like they were just blown out of my eardrums. My eardrums didn't bust because of an abrupt just change in sound that was way too loud. Right? Like, have you ever watched those movies on your home theater where you have to like turn down the volume during the action scenes and turn up the dialogue scenes? Like, honestly, if you had to do that with Marvel movies, you would never put the remote down because they don't know. No, I'm not even going to talk about it. I hate Marvel movies. I almost hate them. Anyway, this movie didn't have any of that. I was at a very good level of audio the entire time. I never had trouble understanding what I was hearing. Overall, the movie's production was so impressive and so immersive. I felt like I was sniffing Robert Pattinson's farts through his suit. That's how immersed I was. I felt like I could reach out and have Zoe Kravitz spit on me and break my fingers because I could hear her stepping towards me. You know what I mean? Like, that's how immersive this movie. And the immersion is there for most of the movie until something that pulls you out of the movie comes into play, which is not related to production at all. It's more like the dialogue or the acting will pull you out of the film. Yeah, to the SFX team, the video team, the audio team, everyone who played a part in making it look and sound as good as it did, you guys did a great job. Like 10 out of 10. It was perfect. So there are some little things that made the immersion so like good, right? And one of the major little things, I think, like things that people don't really think about, is that the audio, it sounds like you're hearing it from wherever the camera is. It's like, so there's a scene where Batman's on a roof and it's raining. When is it not raining in this movie, by the way? Anyway, when the camera's outside looking in the window that Batman's looking in, you can hear the rain on the roof as if you're on the roof, right? And the muffled voices of the people inside as if you're not in the room with them. But then when the camera switches and you're seeing out the window looking at Batman, you can hear the rain on the roof as if it's like hitting a tin roof and you're underneath it, protected. And the voices, you can hear them more clearly, like as if you're in the room with the person. That's a more complicated way of explaining the simple idea that the camera has ears. So here's an idea, and I have to watch the movie again. Listen, I'm watching the movie tomorrow, okay? But I'm recording this today because my job, I went to work, and they didn't have anything there. I go to work, right? And the person is like, I'm like, where's all of my network equipment? That should have been shipped today. Or before today, actually. Anytime before today. And the dude's like, well, you see, we got a network rack, but it didn't have any cable with it, so we shipped it back. What, dude? You shipped it back, bro? So anyway, now my day's free for this, but I have to go back Wednesday, which was the day that I was going to record and edit this. So I got to do this, and then I got to add more. I got to fill my plate even more after I watch the movie a second time. So this is before I watch it the second time. Anyway, my point is, this side note, I would need to watch the movie a second time and verify what I think. The side note is this. I'm pretty sure throughout the entirety of the film, the shots, visually and auditorially or whatever, they're related directly to what Batman's focus is on. If Batman's not directly focused on that thing, it's not in the shot. I mean, like I said, I have to watch the movie again and verify if this is like throughout the entire film or if it's just kind of like a thing that's there occasionally. Like the only two places I can think of from having watched the film so long ago are that I can think of to draw back on this idea are when Alfred gets exploded on, when the Riddler's talking to Batman, and when the people are like climbing up the rafters to fail the assassination of Mrs. President. Besides the scenes where the Riddler's actually murking people too. Those are obviously out of that kind of idea. Like Batman's not like someone's being murdered right now. More things that I loved about this movie. Batman isn't perfect. Okay? And I know I'm going to talk about how stupid Batman is later and how bad of a detective he is and how dumb he is, but that's different. That's a different point. In this, I mean, Batman's not perfect. He's not dodging every punch. He's not hitting every dude. My favorite part relating to this is when he's running away from the cops and he's at the top of that building and he goes, ugh, because he's scared, right? Because it's 3,000 feet in the air, like anybody would be. So he's not like a seasoned veteran of jumping off of buildings yet, which I really love because it represents, even though they told us at the beginning, they said, hey, this is a young Batman, right? They're showing it throughout the movie, which I like. Even though they told us and it's kind of like cringy, like makes me feel like I'm a 6-year-old boy who needs to hear explicitly what's happening in the film. Even though they did that, they're still showing it as the movie goes on, which I think is cool. I like it. Do they show it by making Batman retarded and a bad detective? Maybe, but they still show it. Okay, dude. The music, oh my god, dude. I died for the music. I was in the theater and I went, put the bell sound, like a coffin or something. Right? I did that in the theater. The music was so amazing. The Batman theme, as simple as it is, I would never listen to the Batman theme outside of thinking about Batman. It's not that attractive of a theme, but the way they use it in the film is so good. It's very similar to the Darth Vader theme, which maybe that's intentional, maybe it's not. I mean, it's literally like similar almost every aspect with the slow dun 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 dun, and he like walks in during that music. It's the same thing with Batman. It's like, wait, how does the thing go? Whatever. It's like the Batman theme, and he's like walking in very, very slow. It's literally a total mimicry of it, which, whatever. Like, I don't care that you're mimicking that guy's George Lucas and whoever made that song. I do care though if it doesn't come off well, and it does. It comes off great. It makes Batman seem like such like a menacing legend, right? My next point about the music is Ave Maria. Ave Maria. I love that song, and the way they use it in the movie is so cool. And then after the Riddler sings it, you can hear the melody being played in the music. So like the Batman's doing other stuff, he's beating people up, and you hear this violin or something, and it's like the music definitely added to the immersion, like quite a bit. So that's pretty much it for like until I watch a movie again. That's gonna be it for what I love about the movie. Now, where do I think this movie fails?
So many black actors.
Whoa, Ben. I guess you're entitled to your own opinion, huh? Unlike some commentators. Comment potatoes. I think this movie lacks in other areas. The first area is going to be... Let's see, what do I have? The first area is the dialogue. The second area is the storyline. The third area, you're going to see him right here. You're going to see him right here, okay? The third area is Batman. He's a little silly. He's a little silly in the head, right? And what do I mean by that? He's stupid, dude. He's dumb. And then the last area, just little things. Little things that just like pull you out of the movie, make it just like not as good, if you know what I mean. Okay, so the dialogue's not great, which is okay. It's okay. It's not a 10 out of 10 dialogue. Like, this isn't going to win any awards for dialogue. Like, the movie doesn't always need dialogue to drive home a point, which is perfect, right? That's good. However, the dialogue's, it's nothing special. It's not going to be remembered. The only things I remember dialogue-wise are vengeance. When Catwoman is with Batman and she's like,
Those rich white people, they suck.
I remember Gordon Ramsay saying, you could have pulled your punch a little bit. And Batman's like, I did. Because he had to say that, right? that was actually kind of a dumb line. I'm not going to lie. Like an example of something that's good dialogue. Listen, I'm not doing this because it's another Batman movie, but Heath Ledger's Joker, all the dialogue in The Dark Knight, like, is memorable. I haven't even watched the movies, and I can think of things like,
I was born in the darkness, raised by it. You merely adopted it.
Bane. Okay. Joker, like, he's got a ton of classic lines. It became memes. And they're just iconic. This movie's only going to have that with On Vengeance and the song Something in the Way. And Something in the Way, it's not exactly dialogue, but I do still think it has that kind of idea that I was talking about. It's like, it's used in such a way that represents what it's trying to... What am I trying to say here? I wrote it down, so I'm just going to read what I wrote down. Okay. Okay, here's what I wrote down. You want to see what I wrote down? I wrote, something in the way is one of those things. Those things being dialogue or something iconic that you would remember from the movie. Okay. Something in the way is one of those things. Although it's not dialogue exactly, the song is used in a manner that perfectly encapsulates the moments in which it's used, and it sticks with the people who've seen it. Right. Even without Tik Tok boosting the popularity of that song by a quadrillion, I still think it would be something that that people remember from the movie, because I think it was just used so well, and it's like a motif. It's like an artistic motif. In a different strain with dialogue, The Princess Bride is something that is so beautiful and well written. Like, the dialogue, it's like catchy, it's memorable, it's funny, all this nonsense, right? There's hundreds of lines from The Princess Bride that are popular, memes, they're funny, whatever. This movie's not gonna have that at all. The dialogue's just not there. And when I watch it again, like I said, I keep saying this, when I watch it again, I'm gonna make note of everything that I think sucks, and I'm gonna say, hey, this movie's now a 5 out of 10 because I rewatched it and realized how bad it was. I'm just kidding, guys. Guys, if you're typing in the comments right now and you're saying, I'm done watching this video, you think the Batman sucks and it doesn't, stop it, dude. I'm kidding, bro. Look at me, dude. Look at me. Look at me. Do I look like somebody who's serious all the time? No, I don't. To answer your question, no, I don't. It's not even your question. To answer my question, no, I don't. Also, I would like to say the only things that would really stick dialogue-wise from this movie, like I already mentioned them, but it's just either things that are memes or things that are negative, like white people suck or whatever. Okay, the next point is the storyline. I don't think it was good. The Batman movie was not a bad movie. I don't think it was great. I don't think it was bad. It's mid. It's all right. Like, it's like I would watch the movie, and the immersion makes the movie worth it to watch. But the storyline, it's nothing special. Let me explain. I would say, like, after I first watched the movie, I thought the story was good because of the immersion. I felt so moved by the movie and so immersed in the film that I had no choice but to experience things as they were. It's like, listen, it's like, yeah, you ever see those, like, posts on Reddit where it's, like, people doing world building, and they show a map of Finland, but it's upside down. It's like an upside down mirror version of Finland. And they're like, how's my map? And people are, like, roasting it. They're, like, criticizing it and saying, this is stupid, this is dumb, this is gay, whatever. Finland's a real place. You know what I mean? Like, it's not unrealistic because it has bad world building. The real world has bad world building, and the world has poor stories. My point with this is that when I was watching the movie, no matter how stupid and dumb the story was, or how bad it was, I'm not saying that it's stupid, dumb, and bad, but no matter how dumb it is, if the movie makes you feel like you're part of that world, it doesn't matter how dumb the movie is, how dumb the story is, because there are dumb stories in real life that still affect people, right? Like, imagine this. Somebody has a dog, okay? And their kid loves their dog. But, and this is tragic and this is awful, right? They kill their dog because they were tired of it pooping in the yard and they didn't want to clean up of it. Well, that's stupid, right? The characters in that are dumb. The story is dumb. The reasoning's dumb. Everything's dumb. But if it's real, then it's real. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're in that story, you're affected by it. You're moved by it. No matter how stupid it is in the moment. And then afterwards you think, oh my God, 17 years ago when my dog got murdered by my dad and then he hung himself in the living room, that was a bad plot. No, it's real. It's realistic. Okay? So whatever I say about the story, while I'm watching the movie, it feels so much better than it actually is, which is very good. And I love that. But the storyline still sucks. The quarrels I had with the story. Okay, here's my main thing. The Riddler was so ideologically inconsistent, dude, and it pissed me off sometimes. Like, after I watched the movie, and I was sitting there, I was like, dang, he was really dumb now, wasn't he? Now he was really stupid now, wasn't he? Konstade my mucka funga, dude. So, the Riddler was an internet celebrity. He was an influencer in Gotham. It sounds so stupid to say. The Riddler was an influencer. He had 500 followers on Twitch. And he drew this crowd of people who had this ideology of like anti-rich, anti-corrupt government nonsense, right? Not even nonsense, right? Because I agree. The government has corruption, especially in Gotham, and it's obvious, right? He drew this whole crowd. He's got all these fans and all this garbage, right? And what that all represents is that people have a sense of justice in Gotham, and they don't want their city to be run by corrupt, dumb, stupid, corrupt individuals. I wouldn't want my city to be run by stupid, dumb, corrupt individuals, would I? If somebody who claims they're being a good guy is going and helping the drug industry boom in my city, I don't want that to happen. And if he got assassinated, I'd be like, that's unfortunate for his family, right? Even if it's not. Because sometimes it's not, right? The dudes are banging other chicks. Their wives haven't had, a good family meal time in probably 7 years. So how unfortunate is it for them? So he's representing a sense of justice. He wants to be Batman's mirror, right? Like here's him, here's the Riddler, and here's Batman, right? They're one and the same. Okay, until the very end when the Riddler is like, screw it, dude. Here we go with murdering innocent people, bringing chaos to the entire city, despite the fact that not every single person in the city is a corrupt politician or policeman, and inconveniencing hundreds, maybe even thousands of people at one time, just by exploding their part of the city. Their homes are gone now. Even if they didn't die, their homes are gone. Their family members are dead. For what, dude? For what? To piss Batman off? To make him wee his little panties? For what? It's just inconsistent. It's like, that's a stupid direction for the Riddler to go when he's been this way, one way his entire movie. Like, the reason he did that is to say that he's justice. He's like Batman. He's, you know what I mean? And his followers have this same ideology. They're like, I'm vengeance. They're Batman, dude. They have the same idea as Batman. So why is the Riddler now in the end? See, here's what I think. I think the reason that they made the Riddler the bad guy like that by killing and being an innocent, ideologically inconsistent piece of garbage is because he needed to be the bad guy, right? If he didn't do that, he would be the same as Batman, but willing to cross the line of murdering people because he knows that the prison system in the United States is corrupt and it's a scam and has major problems, and the justice system in general has major problems. And
despite making up only 13% of the population.
And also, the Riddler didn't have hundreds of hours to learn how to fight crime, like a League of Assassin character. He doesn't have the millions of dollars for expensive equipment and guns. And a big car and motorcycle and a flying suit and armor or an armory or a bat cave. He doesn't have all that crap, right? So what does he do? He buys a firearm from the local gun store and he goes and he murks the people who are being bad because he's willing to cross that line. So if you stop the movie at any point before the Riddler gets himself arrested, he's not the bad guy. It's like a philosophical, it's like an ideological deus ex machina. Does that make sense? It's like, wait, we still have an hour of runtime, right? We want this movie to be 3 hours just so we can say that it's 3 hours long. So let's just make the Riddler the bad guy now. He was supposed to be like Batman's pal, right? He was supposed to be Batman's pal, but we don't really have a main bad guy then if he kills Falcone. So what are we going to do? Oh, make the Riddler the bad guy by making him kill hundreds of thousands, maybe thousands of innocent people for no reason at all. Just to cause chaos. I don't know. I feel like it's just like ideologically inconsistent. Oh. And the fact that Riddler too, like his character is built off of that he wants justice from childhood, where he's like, he sees Bruce Wayne and he goes,
that guy, he's rich, everything's unfair, this is unjust, his parents probably killed a few homeless people for experiments, whatever, I'm mad at him, that's unjust, that's unfair,
right? And then he just goes and unfairly kills hundreds of people. Doesn't make sense. By the way, that was my Dan Carlin's hardcore history. It's hardcore history. That was my voice of him.
In a world, think about this next time you think about the Japanese. During World War II, they assaulted and murdered hundreds of thousands of innocent people for no reason. Welcome to Supernova on the Eastern Front with Dan Carlin. It's hardcore history.
My second point about the story is that Batman is stupid, okay? The point actually reads, it says this: I think the Batman was played by the Riddler too hard, parentheses, which I'll talk about later. And I will talk about it later. But I'll talk about it now, too. Basically, Batman, he went like this. Right into Riddler's lap, dude. He fell right into Riddler's lap, and he did his plan. See, here I'm looking at the viewfinder again. He followed the Riddler's plans exactly. He did everything the Riddler wanted him to do. He only figured out the riddle that he needed to figure out at the worst possible moment, which is after he should have figured it out. If he's the best detective in this movie, then the police should fire every single detective and go recruit help from another city. Because everybody in this movie was a bad detective. Now, okay, you could say that the cops are paid off by the bad guys to be bad detectives, to not, give this information out, which I would agree with. Otherwise, though, stupid detective, like when when Falcone is like, hey, the entire police department is paid by me. The payroll is under me, right? From the $100 million I took from your dad. Okay? And then he walks out and he's like, not every one of us is on your payroll. All those people are bad detectives? But there's got to be like 50 people there. And they're all bad detectives? Fire them, dude. Fire them. Start fresh. No more police department. Start fresh with one dude who watched Death Note way too many times. He's a better detective than every single person in the movie. Guaranteed. Oh yeah, by the way, how'd Riddler know Bruce Wayne was Batman and no one else did? How? I don't get it, man. I'm just like, that just doesn't make sense to me. If it's obvious enough, what do? Follow him around? Sneak into his Batcave? Oh, what's he doing there? Oh, what's that car coming out of Bruce Wayne's house? Oh, is that the Batmobile? Oh, is that Batman coming out of that car? Let's put 2 and 2 together here and equal 4. Bruce Wayne's Batman. Everyone. Bruce Wayne's Batman? That's dumb. It's stupid. How did he know? Bruce Wayne in the public eye. Now, he has been spotted going to some MMA gyms, and we recently got to do an interview with somebody delivering to his house. Here's Carlene with the interview. Thank you, Carlene. And today we're here with Carl, who just got done delivering something to the Wayne estate. Carl, would you like to tell us more about what you did?
Yeah, Carlene, I'll tell you what, I just delivered the nicest Dodge Charger on the market. And listen, you're not going to believe this part. It had a jet engine on the back of it. It did. Along with that shipment was a bunch of armor, some knives shaped like bats, a few other things. Yep.
Wow, that certainly is interesting, Carl. I think it's safe to say we are all wondering what's happening in there. Back to you, Carlene.
Bruce Wayne in there doing God knows what.
Thank you, Carla and Carl. That was Carla at the Wayne estate. Now for our next segment. In recent news, a masked vigilante has been seen rolling around Gotham. People are starting to call him the Batman. He was spotted beating up an old man who was jaywalking after hanging a bunch of gangbangers by their toes. Witnesses say he drove off in a very classic car with a jet engine. We all wonder who this masked hero could be, and how the definitely not corrupt police are going to respond to his help. Now on to Carlotte for the weather. Weather in Gotham is typical, as it always is, raining every single day. There's not a single day where it doesn't rain in Gotham. You would think someone's controlling the weather, but nope. And no, how did he know when no one else did? That's what I'm saying. Because it's got to be obvious, right? It's got to be. The next point is the Riddler's plans were hollow and kind of stupid, honestly. This point is built off of what I talked about earlier with his ideology being inconsistent. The Riddler did all this fancy stuff, all this complicated nonsense. He set up executions, used Batman for an execution, everything like that. Throughout the entirety of the film, we are told, or it looks like, he's doing that because he wants to show the Batman that he's just like him and that he's just a bad guy because he kills people. But then at the very end, he just throws everything away. He gets arrested. His plans don't work out. You know why his plans don't work out, by the way? His plans don't work out because everybody who followed him can't shoot a gun, right? They were there minutes before. They could have assassinated Mrs. President before Batman even saw the theater or the venue that they were doing the thing in. Why does every single person who follows the Riddler suck at using guns? Probably because they're incels. Probably because his entire fan base was full of incels, fat, sweaty, gross, who haven't shot a gun in their entire life, and they can't even aim down the sights and assassinate a black president. Using a gun with a sight, dude, is not that hard. It's not. Oh, yeah. By the way, at the very least, aside from killing hundreds of innocent people, the Riddler inconvenienced cleanup crew and, like, rescue teams. The only reason Batman stayed is because he has this, like, image of hope that he wants to be, like this beacon, that he changed throughout the movie so that he can become this beacon of hope. It's not until the literal end that he changes to become this beacon of hope and is able to help with the rescue crew and everything like that. If he didn't change at all and he was still like kind of like I'm vengeance, you know what I mean? He would have just went home. He would have just taken the Batmo boat home and sat around while the rescue team and everyone else freaking did their thing. Don't get me wrong though. Don't get me wrong, dude. I love the end, bro. Batman with the Thing walking through the water, dude. Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. And just the imagery, it was just like a beautiful scene, and it was moving. It really was. Like, I was like, oh my god, Batman is helping all these people who are in chaos. And like I said, I was in the film, dude. I felt like I was sitting there, dude, sniffing Batman's farts, bro. That's how immersed I was. So when I saw that, I was moved to tears, bro. I was sitting there, I was like this, I was crying. In the theater, I was like, oh my gosh, Batman, You're so manly. You're so moving. And it's true. It's true. So I love that part. Don't get me wrong. I did. But it's kind of stupid. Also, what else is stupid is the and this is in part the audience, but when Batman like cut off the electrical wire and the movie builds that suspense like Batman just fell into the water and died, right? Even though it's like 3 feet of water and he like could have died anyway. But like the idea is that he cut off the electric and he's going to shock everyone in the water. Why was that something some people thought? Like he made a dead part of the wire in his hand, right? Boom, cut it off. No electricity. Who's thinking that he's about to kill everybody with the electricity? Not a single person. Yet the entire film was like, knowing that there's water down there and he's going to land in the water like he's jumping into a pool off a 10-foot diving board. You don't understand electricity? And then 2 minutes later, people realize, oh, it wasn't live wire because he cut off the live wire, so it didn't kill people. I don't know. I just thought it was silly. I mean, like, on the audience side, I just thought it was funny. I think that hope thing at the end gave Batman a really good character arc. Like, I'm not one of those guys. Like, I'm not a huge Batman guy. I'm not like, if I watch a Batman movie, I'm not gonna be like, you didn't suck the cock off of Batman's body, dude. This movie sucks. I'm not like that. I don't care. But I think I'm not saying that there is no place for you mischaracterized this character or this is not Batman. Like, unless it's a parody. You know what I mean? To expand on that point, if I how do I say this? Let me just read how I said it. I want to watch a movie and the character in that movie be built throughout the entirety of the movie, right? During the duration of the film, I want to see character built, and I want to understand the character. That's the point of Act 1, is you understand the basics of the character. And then a point of Act 2 and 3 is to finish off and build the rest of the character. If I have to read a comic book or like some other thing to get exposition and understand the character, and then I watch the movie and I don't get it because I didn't read the comic book, I don't want to watch that movie. It's a bad movie, right? So if you're saying, oh, this movie didn't encapsulate Batman like this one page of this comic did, and Christopher Nolan's sucking the toes of Batman off his body, right? I don't want to watch a movie that's like that. You know what I mean? Like, not that I don't think The Dark Knight's bad. I don't even think I watched them. If I watched them, I don't remember watching them. And I watched them when I was a kid in 2008. If I have to read a comic to understand a character before watching the movie, I'm not going to watch the movie. It's a bad movie. My fourth point why I didn't like the story, cut Catwoman out of the whole movie, and you're good, man. The movie is still the same movie. And I'm going to watch this again and make specific note of this, like I've said 3 times. But she, I don't know, I feel like she didn't bring anything to the story besides sexy, spit on me, and break my fingers. And Batman, you're not as bad as you think you are. Even though she was about to kill somebody, and Batman had to stop her. I don't remember if the Riddler was the rat or not, but he was definitely smarter than Batman. That's for sure. So let me go check. I think my cat might be at the back door, so let's go look at him. He's not there, and I'm getting increasingly nervous. I hope he didn't get hit by that big 18-wheeler that just drove by. Okay, anyway, my next point. Why do I say Batman's a silly, silly goober in this film? He's so silly and sussy. And sussy baka. What I really mean by that is that he's stupid, dumb, he's stupid, an idiot. It is National Down Syndrome Day, so I can't say that, what I was about to say. But you know what I'm going to say. Batman, dude. Bro. Batman got played by the Riddler so hard, dude. He got played like, you know that song? The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He got played worse than the devil got played in that song. He got played. So take this imagery, for example. The Riddler is Minecraft Steve with a stick on a carrot. And the Batman is a pig with a saddle. And Minecraft Steve is riding him, and he's taking his carrot and he's going, go this way, go that way, oh, yeah. That's what's happening throughout the entire film. Because Batman's dumb. Like I said earlier, he literally just follows everything the Riddler wants him to do. and then solves the Falcone riddle at the worst possible time and gets Falcone murdered, dude, on the spot. The only reason... No, this is not what the point I want to say. Batman didn't have a single creative solution. He didn't outthink the Riddler at all. The Riddler outthought every single person in this movie. Every single person. I heard someone say, this is the smartest Batman we've seen on screen. This is the Detective Batman movie. If it's the Detective Batman movie, I don't want to watch a single other Detective Batman movie made by these people. I would watch I'd watch a Batman movie made by my kid, and Batman would be smarter and a better hero in that movie than he is in this movie. By the way, saying that Batman is the smartest in this film, my foot, dude. My 5-year-old son is a better problem solver than Batman. Dude, my 5-year-old son looks at a Rubik's Cube. He says, it'd take me 6 days to learn how to solve that by watching YouTube videos. The Batman is like, I don't think I can ever solve that. I'm just going to have somebody solve it for me. I'm just not going to solve it at all, and it's going to be a problem when it comes up in the future. Oh, yeah, here's something that's pissed me off when I thought about it. The character growth in Batman is good, okay? It's like at the beginning of the movie, he's like, bah, 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 bah. At the end of the movie, he's like, bah, 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 bah. Right? But what pissed me off is that the writers think I'm a stupid dumb little boy who doesn't get things without explicit definition, okay? So why do I say that? I say that because at the very beginning of the movie, you have the dun, 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 and Batman is like,
I run this city with fear.
I run this city with fear. And once a light hits the sky, nobody is safe.
And then by the end of the movie, the Batman is like,
I realize that I shouldn't run this city with fear. I should run it through hope.
okay? It's explicit, and it's annoying as hell. Like, if you watch the first, 3 minutes of the movie and the last 3 minutes of the movie, you understand all the character development Batman went through. Because he says, here's the character development that I went through. It's so dumb. That really actually brought the score down. I'm probably going to give it a 6 now. They really just told us. But like I said, while I was watching the movie, it's no problem. It's no problem because I feel like I'm there. Also, while you're watching the movie, if you feel like you're in the movie, and it's real, then it's real, and it doesn't matter if it's stupid because it's real. It's what happened in real life. That's what it feels like, at least. So it brings the story up. Everything good about the movie brings everything bad about the movie up. It's like when you cook pork and bacon in the same pan, and then you eat the pork, and it tastes like bacon. It's got all the bacon juices all over it. That's what it's like. It's like pork's good. Pork's all right, okay? And then you cook it with bacon, which is 10 out of 10, and it's perfect while you're eating it. But then you go back and you eat the pork by itself, and you're like, wow, this is bad. Overall, with the negatives that I have about this movie, there are some things that Critical mentioned in his thing. Which one was the Batman? If he's so
Don't kill people. It's bad for you.
Why did he cause a 35-car pileup and it blow up 2 trucks, 2 tankers? I don't know, just to catch the penguin and then let him go? I don't know. Seems a little stupid to me. Seems a little bad Batman to me. Oh, my pee protector fell off. Can you hear my peas now? Can you hear my peas now? Pee? Dang it. I didn't mean to drop that. I'm pissed. Anyway, so yeah, that was like a tiny thing that was like, I don't know, that's kind of silly. Yeah, overall, it's a pretty good experience. I used to have this as a 7 to 8 out of 10, but now it's like a 6, 7 out of 10. And it's like, it turns into an 8 when you watch the film. I would for sure watch it again. I'm watching it again tomorrow afternoon. What I loved most, I think a great way to finish off this review is to say, Batman felt like such a haunting legend in this film. Dude, he's BA AF, honestly. So yeah, I mean, great experience for a film. Not a great literary film. That's it. The rest of this review, I'm going to chop in bits and pieces from after I watch the movie, and I'm probably going to look a lot different than I do now.
So I rewatched the Batman last night. I took some notes while I was watching the movie. Here's a funny thing that happened. I fell asleep. I fell asleep while I was watching, so I kind of missed a few things. But it's all right. I'm going to go put that back in the fire. I really love that they started off the film with Ave Maria, and you realize that it's the Riddler doing his thing. Like, the Riddler's watching the people he's going to kill. The binoculars FX is also really good. Like, the distance and the HUD and all that. Didn't notice this the first time, but it plays throughout the whole movie. It's Riddler's theme, which I didn't realize, but it fits so well. Like, you always know when the Riddler's going to come because you hear the song start playing. In that gangbanging scene, the dude that didn't beat up the guy, who he had half of his face painted, it made him seem more human than the other people. I thought that was an interesting artistic touch. It's in the detective scene, the light coming from the ground affecting Gordon's glasses. It gives him little bat ears on his forehead. It's kind of cool. The first riddle, oh my gosh, I love the first riddle. What does a liar do when he's dead? He lies still. Such a good riddle, dude. It's so genius. Oh, the mirror. There's a mirror shot like with the motorcycle that's also reflected at the end when Catwoman's driving away. I love that so much. Oh, by the way, I didn't finish the movie. I fell asleep. I woke up and it was like 10:30, and I had to go home because I had work the next day at like 6:30. I think I'd wake up at 5. So it was crazy, or 5:30. The Alfred, stop! You're not my father. That line's a little bit too contrived. Kind of annoying. The fighting is snappy. Looks really good. It's like you cut out a few frames. I mean, it's phenomenal. I love the fighting. Oh, Batman being jealous of Falcone when Catwoman was like, I don't have a relationship with him. He's like, okay then. Yeah, I felt that because jealousy is my strongest emotion. I think all the Alfred and Bruce dialogue is a little bit annoying. I'm going to go put some more wood in the fire here. Right, I'm back. Alfred and Bruce Wayne's dialogue is all a little bit weird. The Hippocratic Oath line was hilarious when Falcone is like, now what do you think that means about your dad? And Bruce Wayne is like, it means he took the Hippocratic Oath. The scene with the Penguin after the car chase is dumb and too humorous. Doesn't really drive exposition, I think, specifically where they're like talking and he's like, the Riddler is the worst Spanish I've ever heard. Like, I guess it does a little bit, but I don't know. It felt annoying when I was watching it. The Alfred explosion scene. Oh yeah, when Alfred gets blown up, dude, is so beautiful. I switched to an Australian accent there. I love it just because like Batman's calling Alfred, and she picks up the phone, and Batman's like, yeah, something bad is about to happen to Alfie. And she's like, it already did. And the way it was just built, you did not know that it already had happened. But once it does, then you see firefighters and everything like that. But oh my gosh, dude. And it just was like 2 timelines running at the same time. It was so beautiful. This one just says, Zoe Kravitz, wow, so hot, wow. A few minutes of exposition that's exclusively Sonic is great. The fact that they can do this and still have good movement is great as well. So I'm talking about when all you hear is, or the only thing moving the storyline is the voicemail. Everyone's just standing around listening to it. It's just the sound of the voicemail. Oh, so cool. I didn't even have to look at the screen to know what's going on. And then right at the end of that scene, Batman literally says, we do what Riddler said, as if he's following what Riddler wants him to follow. Sneaking into the club scene was so cool, and Batman looked huge, dude. Bruce Wayne looked huge with his freaking giant sweater on, and like when he punched that guy who watched him sneak into that one hallway, dude, so cool. Earlier in the movie, after the Riddler reveals something about Batman's parents and Falcone, connection to Falcone, Bruce Wayne walks into Falcone's office area, but he walks down that hallway after getting out of the elevator, and in the same hallway, he walks down it as Bruce Wayne beating up all those guys. That's where you get the gunfire scene with all the light is coming from the muzzle flashes. That was a really cool, like, mirror reflection of what happened earlier. Right before Falcone died, he was talking smack, dude. He was crap talking the Penguin so hard, and I thought it was hilarious. I was like, dang, dude, this guy can. He was like, oh, you're the big guy now, huh? You're the big guy. The Penguin was like, maybe I am, maybe I am, and Falcone was like, listen, bud, you're not the big guy. Whatever he said, it was hilarious. That's it for what I thought while rewatching it. Like I said, I did not finish the movie because I went home to go to bed, and I fell asleep during the movie as well. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Cut back to wherever the heck I'm going to cut back to.
Yeah, I guess I'll see ya. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you share this video and tell all your friends how much the movie sucked after they watch it and they go, oh my god, Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, please spit on me and break my fingers. And then you show them this video, and they're like, oh, yeah, maybe that's a good point, I guess. Never mind, Zoe. You can keep your saliva to yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Boop. Anyway, thanks for watching. Boop. And it's been a few years since we've seen Bruce Wayne in the public eye. Now, he has been spotted going to some MMA gyms, and we recently got to do an interview with somebody delivering to his house. Here's Carlene with the interview.
Thank you, Carlene. And today we're here with Carl, who just got done delivering something to the Wayne estate. Carl, would you like to tell us more about what you did?
Yeah, Carlene, I'll tell you what, I just delivered the nicest Dodge Charger on the market. And listen, you're not going to believe this part. It had a jet engine on the back of it. It did. Along with that shipment was a bunch of armor, some knives shaped like bats, a few other things. Yep.
Wow, that certainly is interesting, Carl. I think it's safe to say we are all wondering what's happening in there. Back to you, Carlene.
Bruce Wayne in there doing God knows what.
Thank you, Carla and
Yep.
Carl. That was Carla at the Wayne estate. Now for our next segment. In recent news, a masked vigilante has been seen rolling around Gotham. People are starting to call him the Batman. He was spotted beating up an old man who was jaywalking after hanging a bunch of gangbangers by their toes. Witnesses say he drove off in a very classic car with a jet engine. We all wonder who this masked hero could be, and how the definitely not corrupt police are going to respond to his help. Now on to Carlot for the weather. Weather in Gotham is typical, as it always is, raining every single day. There's not a single day where it doesn't rain in Gotham. You would think someone's controlling the weather, but nope. Just how it is here ever since famous politician and businessman Thomas Wayne was assassinated.